Let's do this. Cannot wait. What? Boss, you did not have to do this. I swear, I have one of the most best and kindest bosses ever. What in the world? Foam peanuts. What? What? No! No! Cats! Thanks, boss! Get back to work! Hey everybody, BM Collectibles here, back for another statue unboxing review for you. So many have asked for this review on Surge Studio Deidara, and I'm so happy that this day is finally here where I can show you. The round plate style base comes in looking pretty standard to what we've seen for the rest of the line with those red clouds and the headband on the front there. The bottom is felt so it can move around nicely, and the LED is that large disc you'll see in the center. Also, I have these pieces of blue tack here on the side. That is to help the effect piece that we'll install later to stick on there better. It wasn't 100% secure to my liking, so I added a little bit of reinforcement, but this is the infrared LED. There's the light that goes over to the side, goes to the micro USB port that you can power that LED disc with, electricity if you need it. So there is battery option, and there's also the electrical outlet option if you'd like to go that way. Included as an extra and also the LED infrared remote is this Pikachu, or the cosplaying Pikachu as Itachi on the front there. This is the remote that turns it on and off. It's a button. On the back, you'll see the infrared sensor. So that's how you would normally turn the LED lights on and off, but such a cool freebie. Surge Studio Pikachu cosplay line is one of my favorites. I can't wait to one day show off all the collection that I have of these, because they do other ones as well, not just ones that come in a statue. But the Susanoo behind it looks incredible. I absolutely love these extras. It's nice how they include these LEDs stock, but you know how BAM does it, right? I like to customize. So here is a wheel of custom LED light strips that I'm gonna be using to bring this bad boy to life and add some more effects to it. So here is the main effect piece that's gonna go on top of that round plate style base. How incredible does that look? This giant explosion. You got rocks, fire, dust, all sorts of clay, jutsu animals that he's already sculpted that's going off as well. Based on the way that the paint job looks a little bit pearlescent, I can tell that the LEDs are going to be able to shine through these greatly because it has a little bit of translucency behind it. You also see a bunch of notches all throughout the base that some other, clay jutsu animals are going to be attached to there. On the top as well, we have kind of a smoky pillar that's going to be supporting a very large jutsu that he'll be using. That's kind of the main focal point of everything here. There's a very large notch there as well. But cool base. I can't wait to bring this to life. And also on the bottom, you'll see some more blue tack, and the inside of this is relatively hollow, so that is an amazing canvas to be able to customize these with those LEDs. For the sake of my time and your time, I'm going to be speeding through the installation of these at a rate of ×6. So for the most part, there's not much of a method to this. I'm just trying to shove them in there as much as possible. There are some cavities inside there that can go, can kind of push the LEDs up a little bit further than other places. So I made sure to cover those first. But after all those are shoved in there, we're going to make sure that the wire is hanging out the back. It's not going to be resting on an LED strip. It's going to be relying on the actual wires. That's where the weight's going to be on. But after that's in there, we'll go ahead and get this plugged up, get some power to it. With this plugged in, as I've done in other videos, I can control different effects that I allow the LEDs to do on my phone. And so I want you to vote in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts on what effect is best and the one you like the most. This first effect almost looks like there are random explosions going on all throughout the statue. This next is as if there's small explosions going on that ultimately lead up to the brightest of the LEDs, like a large explosion, and then it fades back down and builds back up again. And this last effect is more of a throbbing effect. It goes from high to low in a very even fashion all around. A long time ago, I used to own a Deidara statue that was him riding on his Ckay Bird, and I told myself one day I hope somebody makes one of him riding on top of his giant clay dragon, and today is that day where the dream comes true and I can finally own a statue of that. It is absolutely mind-blowing how huge this piece is. It's going to be mounting on top of the statue. I don't know about you, but the thing inside of the dragon's mouth almost looks like one of those pigs from that old Angry Birds game. On the back, you'll see a bunch of different notches that are going to be used to add on extra parts for the dragon and also some extra smoke effects. You can see by just the size of me holding it in my hand, it is just ginormous. And we'll get this bad boy installed on top of that large dust cloud, which is used kind of as a pillar to really mount it to the base. And here is the tail. And if I recall correctly, you can always let me know in the comments, I think the tail was used to shoot out those bombs from the mouth. It's like it would consume a piece of the tail and shoot one of those larger bombs out. I think so. I think that's what it was. As I mentioned before, there are the additional effects that they sculpted separately that will attach themselves on with these notches and the magnets impacted in there. And so there's one on the front and there will also be two on the back. I swear, the engineering behind Surge Studio statues never ceases to amaze me. They never skimp out on the details. This one here is a little bit different. The bottom of it is going to be smoother right here and spiky, and it kind of fits into a slot and then magnetizes on there. You'll kind of see how I get that attached here. With that attached, we'll go ahead and jump over to a different angle of the statue where a giant sand particle was sculpted on the side. It's a bit random to have on there. You know, I believe this statue was made to showcase, you know, Deidara's battle between him and Sasuke. Maybe this is kind of a throwback to Gaara having some sand on the side, or maybe it's just a dust particle from the explosion that's going on. Either way, it's cool. It does fit in, doesn't take away from things, but I don't know. What do you think? Is it for Gaara, or was it just from the explosion? As if the presence of the dragon alone was enough to make this thing epic, they went ahead and sculpted some giant dynamic wings that are in motion here. You'll see that shading is nice with the soft blues that are in there, as well to break up from just a pure white looking wing. Here we have the second wing, and despite the size, I will admit these things are actually surprisingly light. Inside they are hollow somehow. I'm not sure how they did that with both layers being somewhat thin as it is, but they are hollow and lightweight, which, you know, really is encouraging because over time resin can warp and bend, and the lighter you get it, the better off, especially so dynamically in the air like this. To showcase the edition size, you'll see this steel plate that normally comes with the Surge Studio statues. Now, this one looks a bit different. This was one of the China market pieces instead of the international versions that I usually get. But so it looks a little bit different on the bottom there for the edition size. I don't even know what 37.5 is, but I know it's authentic. I know it's not bootleg or anything like that, but it just looks a lot different. And here is our Naruto CCG pack for the opening, and we'll see Deidara up at the top right. I went ahead and grabbed this pack because he's in there, and we'll crack this bad boy open. I cannot even tell you how badly I wish that they would have the Naruto CCG cards return to stores. One day I can only hope that maybe Naruto gets like a revival in the sense of like Dragon Ball Super, where, you know, more products are going to come to the States again. But, you know, hey, I'm just crossing my fingers here. First off, we have Shadow Strangle Jutsu, Leaf Rising Wind, Westgate Northgate as our reverse hollow. We have the Ninja Dog Squad Kiba, Ultimate Two-Step Program, Revenge for My Son. Oh my god, that Conqueror card looks so good. And ending it with the Kisame for our rare. On my 100K live stream, I believe it was my 100K live stream, I did pull this SR of the Deidara. You'll see on the bottom there 3 dots, which signify that it is a super rare card, and obviously has a gold tone to it. Here is the kickstand that I have for it. I'm going to be displaying this on the side of my statue. Perfectly goes with it. To make this base even more epic than it already is, sculpted separately are 3 different animals, clay jutsus, whatever you want to call them. And the way that they attach to the statue is that piece of dust cloud on the back. It has a notch on there, but similar to how the wings were, there's a little bit of lighter blue colorations that distinguish certain aspects of the statue and take away from it being just a pure white clay looking bird. Here we'll see the owl. This is probably one of my favorite jutsus that he uses, or favorite looking jutsus. Similar to the last bird, he has that dust particle with the notch on the back with a magnet that will attach to the base, but all around really cool looking. I love all the different representations of the different types of animals that Deidara did use with his special art. And then lastly, we're going to be closing it off with another bird. This one attaches differently, so the leg is going to be missing off of there. That's where it's going to be keying in to the left side of the statue. As you've seen, so much goes into bringing these statues to life, and of course, we're going to be topping it off with Deidara's actual character sculpt, which, as per standard of Surge Studio, is perfection. Now, the pose is a bit suspect and questionable because Deidara is actually going to be skydiving. I kind of imagine him standing on top of the dragon, but, it kind of would have been neat if they had two different poses you could include. But nonetheless, Deidara is skydiving. You see all these awesome details that they included in here. We have those pouches on the side where the clay is, and the overall look of the cape. You'll see that large notch there. That's how he's going to be connecting to the base. The clouds on the robe look fantastic. I'm truly always amazed at all the details they're able to capture in here. Let me get really close up so you can see the ring and how they did that. Probably a paint sticker on there. And this arm over here to the right was sculpted separately, and it was removable, as well as the head is removable. There's going to be two head sculpts that are included. That is going to be probably my second favorite, and then my favorite will show up close soon. It's attached with that notch inside there. You see the round magnet as well. Like I said, this one is my least favorite out of the two for the only reason that the other one has a bit more emotion on there, but awesome how they sculpted the hair. You'll see his eyes. It's got a little bit of a glossy tone to them as well. Headband looks good. He's got that kind of scouter looking piece over his eyes. Well, I mean and if somebody could help me remember, what the heck was that scouter even for? Is that for when he's flying high up in the sky and he can look down on the ground and see who's down there? But why? I'm like drawing a blank on if he even used that in the show. But here's the second head sculpt. Mouth is open. I don't know why this one just works better than the other one for me. So I'll get this attached and we will install him onto the statue. I just realized not that many want to get a close-up of this part, but I forgot to showcase the hand with the tongue coming out of it on there. So great details on there, and I just want to make sure that we do showcase that before we move on to the rest of the statue review. I'm going to tell you, this is a 10 out of 10 statue for me, the way that it all just comes together so beautifully. Here is how the LEDs look when we turn them on, and here's with the lights off. Incredible looking, right? Let me know if you like this effect. I think this was actually effect number 1, the first one, number 10 that they had on there. But overall, such a fantastic statue capturing the character of Deidara. Thanks for stopping by the channel, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. Do what you love and love what you do. Bam out.